Well, this week's That's Awesome is going to be a That's Awesome highlight, and
Mm-hmm.
boy, is it a highlight.
It is a highlight. Um, a lot of you may have heard that. Gosh, I don't know why it always hits me when we do this
When
stuff.
we say it out loud, like it's like you
Break,
see
man.
these. I was watching
Oh,
this. What you guys are about to see, I was watching this, and it's just hard to imagine certain people when they have such a specific life force, which it's
yeah, no,
hard
that's
to
you're
it's
right. You're
hard
right.
to it's hard to imagine that being gone.
Yeah, Jackie Zeman passed away. Um, and obviously it's at first I think of her family, and my thoughts and prayers are with them, and then of course you just go through all the things that we normally go through when somebody passes, because it's been Sonia, it's been Nika for us at
Yeah.
GH family, it's Jackie Z, and it's I don't know, man, it's always a wake up call. But and what you said about her is really an accurate description of, like I said before we got on here, how amazing it was to be able to do the podcast with her, because obviously I worked with her. She's amazing. I can say all the awesome things that I'm going to say when I post about her, because she's incredible. Her energy was incredible, and her I would say her lust for life was incredible.
Yeah.
You know, getting to know her more in those couple hours on the podcast that we did was like, I had no idea how dynamic this woman was. Like, literally, it was our minds were blown
Yes.
at what she was
The
telling us.
breadth of her experience, her life experience. Like she was on our show for such a long time, and of course everybody knew she had a life before she came to GH,
Of
but
course, yeah.
what a life.
What a life. What a life. And again, with Sonia, with Nika, with now Jackie, we just, it's hard right away, but we have to celebrate them. And that's what it is. It has to be a celebration, because they were so awesome, all of them, by the way, and sorely missed at GH. I miss them. And Jackie, being a veteran of the show and working with her so much, obviously she's going to be missed. You guys grew up with her. I
Yeah.
grew up with her,
Yeah.
and she was just always so awesome. Like, just always asked me about me, what's going on, and all these great things. So if you haven't seen these clips, guys, it's just kind of again, a peek behind the curtain of who she really was outside of GH,
Well, that's the
you
thing is
know?
I read a lot of the things that have been, posted in the trades and in the news, and like I was like, "Oh, we have a fuller story that we can share."
Yes,
And I was like, "How cool is that?"
I know. It's
We have
amazing.
we have her telling her own story in
I
this
know. It's
really
incredible.
beautiful way, and I like and as I was watching it again, I, it just I was so grateful, like you said, to
Mm,
have that experience, but also because we've never posted this video because
yeah.
we weren't posting videos at the time, and so like I'm kind of delighted that we can share this part of her with you guys as well.
Totally. Yeah.
So this is part one. It takes you through uh her her dancing as a girl outside of New York City, getting a scholarship to NYU at 15, going to Caracas, getting stuck in Venezuela, meeting Hugh Hefner, working with him, private detective stuff,
I know, it's
flying
crazy.
planes, carrying guns.
It's amazing.
It's
She's
nuts.
amazing.
So, and all with the delightful charm that is Jackie. So
That is
enjoy this,
Jackie.
and then
Well
part
said.
two will come out either
This
tomorrow or the
weekend
next day or
sometime. Yeah.
whatever, and it'll be her daytime career, which is awesome too. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for being here,
Thank you,
and
guys.
we're delighted to share a piece of Jackie with you.
Is that an exciting
It's an
sound?
exciting
Because
sound.
we have an amazing guest
Oh
today.
my gosh!
We have the great and wonderful Jackie Zeman with us today.
Come on!
Oh, you men, you're making my day.
Yeah.
Such charm just oozing out
Come on.
of these two wonderful people
Yeah,
in this
that's
room with
it.
me.
So I didn't have Jackie's number, right? So I think
It's a tough number to get, I
Yeah,
hear.
it is tough. It's tough. It's tough, especially in this day of technology. You think it'd be easier. I can't track her down. I don't know.
Did you look in the phone book?
She has like a burner phone.
It's the
Anytime-
same number I've had for like 25 years because I'm not good with numbers. So when I get one I can remember, we're done.
So
Amazing.
so I had to text Ken.
Oh, that's a fool's errand.
Of all people, I'm like, who can I get Jackie's number from? But anyway, Jackie, thank you for sitting down with us today. This is amazing. We have so many questions for you.
Indeed.
Thank you for inviting me. I was
No.
really excited about doing this with
Yes?
you today.
Have you ever done a podcast before?
I have.
Yeah, okay.
But not a lot. Just
Okay.
you know.
Sure.
We're
one
not,
or two.
our feelings aren't hurt.
Okay.
I mean, it's always exciting to be somebody's first, but we don't take it
Yes.
personally.
No, we do not.
The fun thing about doing this is that we get to know people that we've been around for a while,
A long
right?
time.
But we get to know them on because we pass in the hallways, we see each other on stage, but what we're interested in is finding out how people started, how people found their artistry or found themselves in the middle of a business that they didn't intend to. So it is, we always like to start kind of at the beginning and figure out, where people are from and how they found their way here. So where are you from, Jackie?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm from Bergenfield, New Jersey.
Bergenfield.
Oh.
I've heard of Bergen, New Jersey, but not Bergenfield.
It's in Bergen County.
Bergen
Nice.
County.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay, right.
So
New
it's-
Jersey, huh?
New Jersey, and it's not far from the George Washington Bridge.
Sure.
It's right on the suburbs of Englewood. I was
Yeah,
in Englewood
yeah.
Hospital. So you just whap over the bridge and you're in New York. So
Totally, yeah.
So did you kind of spend your childhood going over into the city a lot?
Yes. Well, I was a dancer when I was young. So
Just like-
I started at like 11, getting on the bus with my friend Phyllis, and we'd go into New York and we'd take dance classes with
Wow.
Luigi Lewis and ABT, American Ballet Theater, and Rhett Dennis and JoJo Smith and
Wow.
Peter Gennaro.
Oh my
We
God.
had a great teachers.
So when you were getting into dancing as a kid, was it just like, hey, I'm a kid, I want to dance, or was it already thinking like, hey, I want to dance and maybe I want to dance in shows, or like was it just for like activities, or was it specifically pointed towards, hey, I think I want to be a part of that?
Well, my mama would drive me to dance lessons, like,
Yeah.
pretty much 5 times a week when I was a kid, just because it was fun. I started very young.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And it progressed, I
Yeah.
didn't, when you're 5 or 6,
Right,
you don't really think about if you're going to earn a living.
Right, okay, great,
Sure.
yeah.
But I remember
I hope
dancing
not.
around the living room. And then when I would turn like 9, I remembered I would round up all the kids in the neighborhood and choreograph shows. Like everybody
Amazing.
we'd have block parties. We lived in a really wonderful neighborhood where, we'd block off Catherine Place, the street, and we'd have parties. And, the grown-ups would come and pay like 25 cents or something to watch the
You
kids all
charge the
dance.
grown-ups. I
Yes.
love
Yeah,
that.
well, we had to pay for the costume. I had
oh,
some
wow.
costumes from the dance recitals that had to get passed around. My mother sewed, so she made sewed costumes for us, and it was really fun.
Were your
Gosh,
parents?
little entrepreneur.
were
I
your-
love that.
And she still is, by the way.
I love that.
And that hasn't stopped. Were your parents in the entertainment business at all?
No, nobody was ever in the entertainment business, so
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. I, auditioned for the plays in school. I was in all the high school plays, and fortunately got the lead role, so I was very lucky,
wow.
which was really because I loved it.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Marty Winkler was our head of the drama department at Bergenfield, school system when
Yeah.
I was in, and I just loved getting to do that. And in and out of New York, and then I was given a dance scholarship to NYU when I was 15 years old.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
So I went there.
How did
So
Well,
yes,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
How does one as a 15-year-old get a scholarship to go like 3 years later? Were they recruiting dancers? Or did you go to college at 15?
I went to college at 15.
Oh, okay.
I had skipped a couple years. In those days, they didn't have like the pre-college courses like they do now.
Yeah.
But I was on an independent study program.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
what would happen, I liked to read, so we'd get the book in the beginning of the year, and I would read it, and I'd go to the teacher, like in a month, I'd go, can I have the next book? And the teacher would say, that is the book for the year. And I'd say, well, I'm done with it. Can I have, the next one? So I ended up getting a
Yeah.
little ahead scholastically, which was fun because it gave me time to be in the plays, be in the drama
Sure.
department. My girlfriend Phyllis and I opened up dance studio in our house, and we were teaching kids in our neighborhood.
Wow,
making
so
money.
was
dancing
that,
seems
was that
like
school a public thing or was that a private thing?
Well, it was a private thing, but all of the kids in the neighborhood like the moms all knew us because we had been in dance shows and recitals, so they all sent their kids to us after school and they'd pay us.
Oh, wow.
You know, money to teach them after school. And we were like 13, 14 at the time, 15.
Yeah.
And it was fun, you know, it was just, it was
great.
fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so then you're in college at 15 in Manhattan.
Yeah, NYU was at the time was starting up a new dance department. Richard Bull was in charge, and they were just trying to get new people in. It was really fun. Phyllis and I had done a performance at the Garden State Art Center, and they have spotters for dance, just as they do in sports.
Oh, sure.
So spotters came and saw us, and that's, I think, how we got invited to audition.
Wow.
We auditioned. Phyllis and I, we both got in. We were in NYU, you know, dancing. It was really fun. And I went there for only 1 year, and then moved to Caracas, Venezuela, and I was a dancer in South America. So I worked down there.
How did that go out?
That was a detour.
Yeah, well, you know, dance, it was a complicated thing because dance, you only get, you know, you get your good 10 years or something, and then you either become really famous and become a choreographer, or you find another business.
Sure.
So I wanted to dance. I mean, I really enjoyed it. So I went down to Caracas with Gilda Millette, who was a principal dancer with New York City Ballet.
Okay.
And I was very young at the time, and my parents were like, oh, I don't know if we should, you know, let my...
So you were like 16, 17? Or?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's tough.
And but Gilda was 24.
Okay.
So my dad said to my mom, we have to let her go, Rita. If we don't let her go, we're going to lose her. She'll either, you know, go anyway, or she'll end up, you know, not wanting to confide in us anymore.
Right.
Sure.
So that was that. They let me go.
Wow.
And how long were you down there?
Oh, that's another story. So,
Well,
so
that's
we
what
go
podcasts
down-
are for, Jackie.
Yeah, it's fun. We go down to, you know, Caracas, Venezuela, and we're dancing, and I didn't know at the time. We went down on a tourist visa, which was good for 3 months. Except, what did I know? I had never been overseas before.
Was it to be part of an existing company that was going to just hang there, or is it to do like one show?
No, it was to work in a club.
Oh,
and we were choreographing routines.
Okay,
and you know, doing shows in this club, right in the city. And we get down there, and the visa, what do we know? We weren't, and it wasn't like we were getting paid like a lot of money. It seemed like a ton of money to be that age and earning that money. And we didn't know, and all of a sudden it was time to leave the country, and our visa had run out, so we couldn't leave the country. They wouldn't let us out.
That seems like oh, your visa's run out, you can leave.
Yeah.
You can't stay. But no, but this is the other way around.
We were down there. So while I was down there, you know, the Kansas City farm team was down there with the baseball thing. So I was dating Ed Sprague, who was the pitcher, and Gilda was dating Kurt Bavacqua, who was third base at the time.
Sure.
And, you know, we were like having a great social life, and we were having a good time. We go to leave,
amazing.
it's time to leave, and there's no internet in those days.
Right.
You know, and if you made a phone call, like I called my mom or dad, it was like $30, you know, to make a 2-minute phone call. So it was expensive. So we tried to get out. We couldn't get out. We go to the American Embassy and we say, what they say to us is, we're in the middle of a revolution down here. What do you want us to do? We can't help you girls.
Oh my gosh.
So we call my dad. My dad wires money to us. We were staying at the Tamanaco Hotel in Caracas, Venezuela, which was kind of a big, famous, very nice hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a nice life down there. Part of our deal was they paid for our room, you know, our rooms.
living in a hotel. All right.
Yeah.
So Daddy wired money and it never got there. So Gilda had a boyfriend because she was 24. She had a boyfriend a couple years older than her who actually flew down.
Wow.
Paid somebody. I don't know who he paid or what he did, but we got out of the country. We were down. We were down there for like a little over 6 months.
Did you ever think about hiding like in the Kansas City team plane or something?
No, but the funny thing is, a gazillion years later, I was doing this Women's Health Expo in San Diego.
Yeah.
And this is maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And there's this guy standing out in the audience and he's yelling, "Hey, Jackie Zeman, it's me, Kurt Bavacqua."
Oh, that's amazing.
Had you seen him since Venezuela?
No.
Oh my gosh.
So small world. Funny how,
my
you know,
gosh,
goes around, goes around.
That's
Everybody
amazing.
meets up in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So you get back to the States
Yeah.
and you're still
You went back to New York.
Yes,
Went
moved
back to
back
New
to New York. Then I auditioned for to be a dancer at the Schaefer Music Festival in New York and got hired.
Great.
They needed a blonde, a redhead, and a dark-haired girl.
Okay.
So I got the red-haired part, and it was to be a K girl for Murray the K, a dancer.
Okay, yeah.
So Murray and I met, and we started dating shortly after that.
Yeah.
Murray had some nightclubs in New York at the time, and I was choreographing the dancers. And the
Wow.
hustle was in those days. Do the hustle.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we were, so I would audition the dancers, hire the dancers, make up the routines for some of them, and food and, you know, all that stuff. We were having a really good time.
That's Jackie,
And,
I didn't know you did all this dancing.
Yeah,
this
it
is
was
amazing.
Wow.
And then,
Especially a great time to do some
I
dancing
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
70s.
great.
Come
Oh
on.
my God, it was really fun. And being so young and, you know,
Yeah.
crazy in New York and all of that
Yeah.
going on.
Oh man, what a
It
life.
was fun. And
Wow.
did that, and then
Were you ever singing as well? Did you?
no.
No?
And you know what? Here's the silly thing, because nobody in my family ever was in the business.
Yeah.
Nobody ever said to Phyllis or me when we were kids, sing.
Sure.
Learn to sing.
Yeah.
You know, and my family, my parents did really well, but there was not like a ton of money to just say, oh, well, I'm going to get a singing teacher and I'm going to have
Sure.
private lessons. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So the dance was so constant, I didn't even think to ask my parents, oh, by the way, I also want singing lessons.
Well, sure.
You know,
Yeah.
So to this day, I'm a terrible singer. So I love musicals. I go to musicals and I console myself with. I watch them. I'm not in them.
Yeah.
Right.
It's funny.
But I imagine maybe some of your dancer friends or some of the people were auditioning for Fosse and were auditioning for all these other choreographers that required singing. Probably, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of the shows did. I mean, Peter Gennaro was great. We studied with Peter, and he would choose me a lot of times to be his partner when he was doing combinations for class because
Yeah.
I was petite. You know, Peter
Sure.
was great, but he wasn't that tall.
Yeah.
So we, you know, danced together, and Phyllis and I both, we wanted to be Rockettes. We were young. We thought, oh, how fun, we could dance
Were
in
you
Radio
tall enough?
City. No. That's the whole
Oh, okay,
thing.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like 5. Well, I would say 5'4".
Well, I wasn't sure if the requirements, if the requirements have always
changed.
been in place.
Yeah.
Peter would say, "I love you girls, but my shortest girl is 5'6", and that's on the end of the line, and I can't go any shorter."
27 through 32.
So
Yeah.
So,
I know.
yeah.
That's dreams dashed.
there you go.
I know.
But it didn't matter. Then I worked in New York. I worked for a private detective for a while.
What?
I was
Doing what?
modeling, tailing people, following people, writing down where they went.
Come on.
I get paid really well.
So are you? Are
Jackie,
you?
and
is there
people.
a movie in the works here for your life? Because I mean, being a dancer in Caracas
Well,
and then a private eye in New York,
I'm
that
trying to
sounds like a
imagine
good
you like
life.
following people like in a trench coat, but like stepping really gracefully.
Yeah, it was sort of like that.
Are you super like subtle? Are you like can you like
Blend in.
Well, you know, as an actress in school, high school, so naturally, you know, and so, you know, I'm studying human nature and the psychology of people, and that was
Yeah.
interesting to me to watch people and what they were doing and try to figure it all out.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then I got a job. I was modeling. I was a petite model, so I
Okay.
did a lot of runway in New York, and I was sample sizes and everything. I had
Sure.
small feet. You know, I was a fit model for Kaiser Roth. I just, you know, was
that's
always
the-
able to make money. I did
Will
the
Donnell,
covers
Josh
of all those
Keaton, basically.
romance
Will Donnell,
magazines
Josh
with like the hunky guy, and I had the red curly hair and the big boobs. So all those cringe covers, you know, I could shoot like 1 or 2 of those a day and make
It's
money.
amazing.
And then I got a job working for Hugh Hefner as a Playboy bunny.
Oh my gosh.
What?
So, yeah. I worked. I was the youngest
Was that
bunny
based
they
out of
ever
New York
hired.
at
New
the
York.
time? Okay,
New York.
wow.
Got hired
Wow.
by JD, the bunny mother, and was working with all the girls. At the time, I was living on West 57th Street. With,
Was it when they were having the club too?
Oh, we had a club.
it was
I
the
a
club.
bunny.
Yeah.
It was the club. I
Yeah.
worked in the club as a bunny, not Playmate. They offered me to shoot for the Playmate, but
Yeah.
I said no. I can't. My dad would like no. I can't do nudie stuff. You know, 'cause
Sure.
that would be like no in my family.
Right.
Very conservative family.
Yeah.
But I loved working that, and then I became the promotional bunny. You know, that like I was traveling, I opened Great Gorge for them, the Playboy movie theater, We Magazine. We had
Wow.
a softball team. We'd go to Nassau and play.
Yeah.
I went to
Sheesh.
Rio de Janeiro, and he started a record company
Okay.
for half, down there.
Yeah.
So I got to go to, Brazil, which was really fun, and we stayed like on Copacabana Beach, and
Right.
It's amazing.
and just traveled like doing a lot of stuff, a lot of talk shows.
Yeah.
So that kind of taught me what to do
Yeah.
with all
Sure.
of that, you
Yeah.
know. And the Playboy thing. And at the time, Hugh Hefner was dating Barbie Benton.
Mhm.
Ah,
I
Now to this
remember
day,
her.
Barbie's like
Yes.
a good friend of mine now.
Yes.
But in those days, I was
Yeah.
like 18, and she was 21. So, you know, when you're 18 and you're looking at a 21-year-old, like, oh my God. So Barbie would come into the club and it'd be like, what's she wearing? What's her hair like? What's her purse like? And she was a singer. You know, she was on Hee Haw or one of those shows.
Sure,
where
yeah.
She'd go in the showrooms and we'd all watch her. So little I know, years later now, she just invited me with a friend to go up to they have a beautiful place called the Copper Palace in Aspen, and we were up there, you know,
Lovely.
about a
Wow.
month ago. Yeah, she's married to George Grado, who is a, you know, very successful businessman, and Barbie's done extremely well. They have this 25,000 square foot
That's
house
Come on.
Wow.
up there. Swear to God, it's like a hotel, but it's their
That's
home.
amazing.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's funny
You need a
how
lot
the
of stuff to
world
put in there.
goes. Yeah, you do.
Yes, you
She's
do.
decorated it to the gills. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Probably twice.
Yeah.
That gives me agita.
Yeah,
Like
we'll-
thinking about all those.
We'll
rooms
take
you
the
gotta fill.
Holiday Inn Express in Aspen.
I just fill it with wine. That's what I would do.
That's
Yeah.
it. So
Wow.
then I got out of, I worked for, I was with Playboy for about 2.5 years.
Okay.
Which was
Traveling?
fun.
Were you traveling, working the club,
Traveling,
and kind
working
of
the
just doing
club.
whatever?
And then I went back into NYU as a pre-med student. So I went into pre-med.
Dude, this is like a
And-
This is
time. This is
amazing.
the fastest
I know.
timeline I've ever. We could spend an
Yeah.
hour on
Each
Caracas.
I know.
we just breezed by the private eye. Now we're in the Playboy Bunny phase, and that's
Yeah.
gone.
I know.
And now we're back to being a doctor.
I missed that phase. I want to go back to
Yeah.
The private eye.
Can we go
In
back to
those
the
days-
bunnies?
In those days, you could carry a gun. My dad taught us how to target shoot when I was a kid.
That's
My dad was
amazing.
like a real
This is amazing.
adventure guy.
Yeah.
He had drove a Harley, you know, when he was a pilot.
Yeah.
I took flying lessons when I got older because I looked at my mom and my dad, and I loved my mom because I was really close, but I went, oh, but my dad is the one that's having like all this fun. So,
He's got a gun and a motorcycle. It sounds like Jason.
yeah, into not hunting, but target shooting. So he
Yeah.
taught my sister, I have 2 sisters, all of us were really good shots. He taught
Yeah.
us to shoot from the time we were, you know, old enough to do that.
Yeah.
And you know, water skiing and boating and flying, and I had a motorcycle, a little one for a while. You know, like all that stuff was
Yeah.
interesting to me when I was
Sure.
younger. I've calmed down now, you know, this chapter.
A little bit. Just a
I'm a
little.
mom,
Not-
with, you know, kids, but
Yeah.
so
So you were pre-med?
I was pre-med in college, and I liked it because it was challenging my brain. You know what I mean? I felt like
Yeah.
I wanted to see, and it got to a point where I had to make a decision. Oh, I was in NYU. I was still working. You know,
Sure.
earning a living, modeling, doing all that, and you know that was fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I had to make a decision. I was like, wait a minute, all right, so. Saturday Night Live was, what was it, Dance Fever,
Yo.
Saturday Night
Travolta,
Fever.
Yes,
Saturday Night Fever. I
Saturday
can't
Night
remember the name
Fever,
of it,
yeah.
was coming out, right? So it was John Travolta. So they wanted me to audition for the girlfriend, Karen Lynn Gorney, the part that Karen Lynn Gorney did.
Yeah.
Karen, what was the one? And I was a really strong dancer, but in those days they didn't give you a whole script. You just got the sides.
Right.
And when I read the sides, it was all cursing. Like every scene was like,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
remember that movie.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
F word, the S word, the A word, you know, it was like and I was like, no, I can't audition for this because my dad would like freak out if I was in a dirty movie like that, you know.
Oh yeah.
So my friend Donna Pescow took the part. She played one of the girl that got raped. You know Donna because Donna was your mama, right?
Yeah.
Was she your mother on the
No,
sitcom?
she was my girlfriend's mother on the sitcom.
your girlfriend.
But she was like my mom in real life, so that worked out great for me.
That is so cool.
I
Yeah, so
remember, Steve, when
yeah,
you first came
so
on
Out of This
GH.
World, Donna Pescow was the mom on Out of This
Yeah.
World.
Oh yeah.
And she was
yeah.
Angie. Well, she did
She did
obviously
Angie.
a bunch of movies. Saturday Night Fever kind of was her break, and then she did Angie, the sitcom,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
Out
yeah.
of This World. But she's an amazing,
She's
amazing
great.
woman, and
She's fabulous.
that's so funny that you.
We knew it. I remember
you
when you
did-
first came on GH.
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
said, oh my God, you know, you're going to be working with Steve Burton. It was on the show with me. I was like, oh my God. So I felt connected to you when
Yeah.
you first came on GH because of the Donna
Yeah,
connection.
and I had the same mullet too, so it worked out good. But she's amazing. So.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's great.
So you did an audition for that.
I didn't audition for that.
But was that
They
a-
were- well, then at the same time, see, all this stuff was happening when you're young. You know how you get in the business, you're young. Like, everybody will let you audition for anything. You know, they want you. I was,
Yeah.
like, young, 17, 18. They want you when you're 17, 18, when you have a little bit of experience and you're
Right.
taking lessons with everybody.
Sure,
and,
yeah.
you know, it's a bright and shiny time. There was that, and then the Laughing, Rowan Martin's Laughing
Yeah.
was auditioning.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to audition for I think it was the part that Goldie Hawn
Hawn,
ended up
sure.
getting. It was
Mm.
like because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
knew I'd been in South America and I'd actually done that for real. So
Sure.
uh,
Yeah.
there was that, and I was like, no, you know, I knew I'm not really a comedian, so that was like all these opportunities were coming up, and it's interesting how to be so young and have choices
Sure.
was I felt really blessed, but I wanted to choose wisely.